Okay, so the implication, the pastor is not here, correct?
Yes, Chair, the Pastor Doug Valentine with Faith Community Center in Belleville, he got some metal in his eye and is unable to come. He had to go have it surgically removed today, and he says, I could come, but he says, my eye's all watering, so he apologized. So if you don't mind, I could open this up in prayer. Thank you, sir.
I would love that.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Let's just have a moment of prayer here to open up our meeting. Father in heaven, Lord, we do love you, and we thank you for your goodness to us. We thank you again for this ability to come and meet together in the public's view and discuss township business. Lord, we just ask you to help us as board members to be cognizant of our role as public servants, to put the public's opinion first over and above our own, and to serve the public to the best of our capacity. Lord, we just ask that the residents in attendance pay close attention and participate in the meeting the way that we're supposed to. Lord, we just ask that your will would be done, and you'd watch over us and you bless our township, Lord, as we try to serve you. We pray this all in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll begin with roll call. Bowman here. Laporte.
Here.
Patterson.
Here.
Addie.
Here.
Russ.
Here.
Fraser.
Here.
Honey.
Here.
Okay, approve agenda.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of item D. This is considered to approve and accept the interview committee's recommendation to hire Gabriella Massel as a full-time clerk office assistant / floater position at the rate of $27.77 per hour in the collective bargaining agreement beginning September 10th, 2025.
That would be item D.
Item D.
Chair, if I could ask Mr. Laporte to amend his motion to include the Senior Alliance. It's time sensitive. We didn't receive it until September 4th, and it couldn't get on the agenda. It's to approve to amend the Senior Alliance Area Agency on Aging 1C fiscal years 2023 to 2025 contract for services to the aging. And item F, which is the approval to accept the bid from M.W. Ross Roofing in the amount of $25,000 in response to our RFP 252603, the membrane type roof section replacement repair for the Sumpter Township Police Department, which the bids came in on Friday. They were reviewed, and that was the contractor that was selected for the job for the board to consider.
I'll make that amendment.
Okay.
So we have D, which is the clerk's office, E, which is the Senior Alliance amendment, and F is what you just talked about. Okay.
I'd like some discussion on this.
On the actual item?
Yes, well, I guess, I don't even know why these are being added to the agenda for consideration when we're talking about roofs. We haven't even had a chance to look over anything. We're considering roofing, and we got two contractors that are on the board that haven't even looked at anything. So I don't even know why we're even adding it to the agenda. I mean, if this is a regular contract too that we're adding, I mean, we're adding it, we're supposed to read through this, and I don't even know why these are being added, but anyway, if we can have that discussion when it comes to vote. I don't know why we're even adding it to the agenda right now.
I made the request, Treasurer Patterson, this came from the township manager to look at adding that to the agenda.
Okay,
So I agree, when we get to it, we can have the discussion. You know, adding it to the agenda allows us to have the discussion when it comes up to either approve or disapprove.
I don't even think it should be on the agenda, but, okay.
I have questions about the hiring of the clerk, Don. There was interviews done. How many people I don't know who we interviewed, or how many people we interviewed, or what became of it?
I'll let the finance director answer all the questions if you don't mind.
No.
We team, 3 people had qualified experience, or work history. So we scheduled those 3 for interviews. Before the interviews took place, one of the 3 canceled. So we ended up interviewing 2 very well qualified candidates. But there was an unanimous decision after the interviews, by the interview panel, that one interviewee was, much more impressive than the other. So we offered the position to that person.
Chair? And as far as I know on this, the complete process that we've adopted for hiring was fully met, and we should be good to go.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes.
I think it's important to remember too that the process, whatever you decide it to be, and I understand that there may be some discussion later on about how that might be changed, ultimately, the decision always, and under all circumstances and without exception, always lies with the board. So it's important that we understand that it's not rubber stamped. Just because it comes as a recommendation, it has to be a township board review and consider of information, and it's the township board that ultimately makes that decision. There's reasons for what I just said. I hope you appreciate that.
But he amended his motion. Is there a support then, or?
That's the board.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries. Okay, public comment. Katie? Carrigan?
Kathy Page.
Pardon me?
Kathy Page,
Kathy. Oh,
Kathy
Kathy,
Page.
okay.
sorry. Good evening. My name's Kathy Page. Been a Sumpter resident for 32 years. Been a Belleville resident in Van Buren for 71. Last week, last meeting, I was here, and I really gave this some thought, and I just wanted to share with what I seen last meeting. There was a lot of animosity here because of 3 minutes, and I don't know what the board has to do to make it 5 or 6, but I think you should give the community a little more time to share with what they want to share with you, because anybody that doesn't stand in front of a pulpit like this, they don't always know what to say. And I'm a senior, and I know for myself that it's okay, you got your $10,000 raise, but I want you to work for the community. I want to see we have a lot of seniors in this community who's having it really rough with what's going on in the community. And also that with this new we got a drain bill. It came on a Friday, which was 25th of August, and it was supposed to be in by August 29th. Most seniors don't have that kind of money. They're just trying to put food on the table and have a place to stay in. So that's my comments on that. But if there's some way that you can give this community a little more time to speak what they want, not with a lot of slinging of mud, we don't need that. But I'm just saying we give them a little more time, because it's hard for people. It's hard. You know yourself, it's been hard for the last few years. It's been really hard. And I know that there's a lot of good people in this community, really a lot of people. They do anything to help you. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Chair, if I may.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if I could make a quick comment. On the drain assessment, Sumpter Township has nothing to do with that. That is
Absolutely
Wayne
nothing.
County. And if you recall, at our last board meeting, we reluctantly shelled out $501,000 for the assessment on the township properties. As I stated at the last meeting, this Friday at the Conference of Western Wayne, which I represent the township at, I'm gonna poll some other communities I'm sure they have issues with the way things are assessed anyways. In my opinion, the drains benefit everybody, and it should be spread out more instead of just in a complete swath that it buries people. We'll see what happens. Obviously, if anything comes of it from the conference, you'll hear it here at the board meeting when I report back to the board. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you, Tim.
If I may, I just want to tell Ms. Page, thank you for your comments. I appreciate them.
Thank you. I just, like I said, it's hard for the community. It's been hard times for a lot of people. See it every day. See it every day. And I'm not, it's not that I'm making light of anybody. I'm not, I just want to see us help people, help the community. They need more help.
At least you're concerned about the community, not about single businesses.
We need businesses too.
Some people don't.
Back to you, Chair.
Sammy?
I'd let Mrs. Harris speak before me, because I wanna see what she wanna say.
Yeah, I wanna see what you wanna say.
I'm gonna stop up and then I'm gonna park, because I didn't like what you parked here last time. Well, good afternoon, everybody.
If you could stand behind the mic, Mr. Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you.
We have a great community. We have a great people, but some people don't appreciate what we have. Especially we have a great board members, but some residents, the point on single businesses every day, calling the ordinance officer and the police department, wasting their time on business that is not running, while that business took a permission from the township to get the paperwork necessary to open a business in this township. I want to make a single comment. They're going after a firewall every time. What kind of firewall we need? We have a propane company just before Harris Road and Sumpter Road, and it's 10,000 gallons of propane. There is no firewall. This is not, waste material stuff. It's just some single resident. They have nothing to do but just to pick on single businesses in this township. And I hope the board will look into that and won't allow them if they talk about the single subject every time. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sam.
Chair, if I may interject it too, if anybody signs up for public comments, what you're doing is you're addressing the board. Please don't address other people,
No, I'm
individuals.
addressing the
Yeah, we
board.
don't need
Yes,
to make
sir.
it personal, so,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
I didn't point names.
Kay Harris?
Hi, my name is Kay Harris, and I am south of the business, and the reason for the firewall is lithium batteries. And I'm looking to give me a few minutes to get out because they are unreliable, unstable, and yes, he has reduced some of the wreckage, but I'm still worried about lithium batteries, and once everything is approved, he will do what he wants like he's been doing the whole time.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to talk about the last meeting, but I needed to address that because that is important to me. It is to give me a few minutes to get out. That's all I'm asking for, a firewall. So, and I will continue to ask you to help me give a few minutes. I don't know if I need a minute. I don't know if I need seconds, but give me a chance to get out. I am too close to the junkyard. All right.
Thank you. Ms. Wolf? Viola Walker? I can't understand it, right?
Good evening. My name is Zeola Walker. And it's Zeola, Walker, okay? And I'm addressing this question or statement, whichever way you want to take it, to Mr. Bowman. I came in here before your election and wanted to know, to ask some questions, and I was told the board doesn't answer questions. So where can we get a quorum together for the citizens to answer questions, like the 3-minute warning? Where did that come up from? I'd just like to know, how can we get it addressed? One-on-one? You gotta make an appointment with every single individual? I just want a little information, that's it. To Mr. Bowman. He's the superintendent, and I think it's to you to answer it.
I'm not here to answer questions, I'm sorry. If you have a complaint or something,
That is my complaint.
well, you can
That's my
come to the
complaint.
supervisor's office and make an appointment
With whom?
with my secretary, Karen Woodington.
With you?
Make an appointment and I'll come talk to you. This is not a place to ask questions or answer questions. But if you want to come to the office and make an appointment, I will be glad to talk to you.
Okay, fine. Not only you, other ones up there. Second thing is this. I wasn't going to say anything about the beautiful view I have across the street in front of me, which is the junkyard. That's all it is, the junkyard. It is gorgeous, and everyone admires it, and I have no problem, this is a statement, with no one with a business in Sumpter Township. I'm all for it. But don't put it in a residential area. Put it in an area, in a business area, not residential. And that's all I have to say. And also, I want to congratulate the lady, Katie, for the wonderful comments she made. Thank you.
Thank you, Zio. Chair, I just wanted to add on, I've been on the board since 2014, and the 3-minute rule has been in effect since I've been on the board since 2014. So it's been, every board has adopted the same process, which is similar to every community. If you go to City of Detroit, it's 3 minutes. You go to Van Buren, it's 3 minutes. I just wanted to make sure that, that was out there, that since 2014, since I've been on the board, it's always been established at 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Chair? If I can also comment too, whoever chairs the meeting, it's been many of us individually in the past, we're pretty darn lenient. We let pretty much, if somebody goes over 3 minutes, we let them ride, unless they get out of hand, so.
Unless they get out of hand.
Yeah,
we're gonna reel them
the
in.
3-minute thing, it's just a guideline. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you, Tim. Okay, we'll move on to the minutes. A, approve regular board meeting minutes of August 26, 2025.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Moving on, approve warrants of $288,265.74.
So moved.
Support with a roll call vote?
Addie,
Yes.
Frazier,
Yes.
Patterson,
Yes.
Bowman, yes. Laporte,
Yes.
Rush,
Yes.
Honey.
Yes.
Motion carried. Supervisor's report, motion to receive and file.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Township managers report, Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, Board of Trustees. My report is in your meeting packet, but I wanted to call attention to a couple of items. First item I want to call attention to is the first item in the report. I mentioned this 2 weeks ago as well. It's the Michigan Townships Association retreats. A couple of you have expressed an interest in attending these. They're in September and October, broken down by position, and I highly recommend it. If you're still considering, if you want to talk about it, feel free to give me a call. Another thing I wanted to mention to you, in the report you have a draft. The draft is attached to my report. A draft of the water and sewer infrastructure service bids. A couple of us on staff have put this together. It's just a draft. I'm looking for input from all of you. What needs to be included in here? This is obviously to go out for bids for things like this sewer repair that we're dealing with right now, and anything else infrastructure-wise. We'd really like to nail down pricing, responsibility, all that kind of thing. So in the next 2 weeks, I'd like to get this on the 23rd for approval. If anybody has comments, questions, concerns, wants to add to it, subtract to it, please let me know. I'd be happy to work with you guys and get it on here. The other thing I wanted to mention to you also, and this is not in the report, but I have drafted a proposed set of meeting rules. I put them in the supervisor's mailbox for him to review. It'd be something that you would be able to approve in a future meeting that would govern exactly how things happen here regarding time, yielding time, crosstalk, tax, and everything else. I hope that we would be able to attack that so that we don't have to deal with this all the time. Any questions
Chair?
about anything? Yes, sir.
Yeah, we've already got established rules, Ken. Robert's Rules of Order. There were 3 different agenda items. I'm very personal with them because I wrote all 3 of them. They were approved back in 2016, 2017.
Okay.
And everything you were just talking about is based on Robert's Rules of Order, but I'd be happy to take a
Yes.
look at what you wrote.
So is everything that I have put together. I have a Robert's Rules of Order compiled and the long version in my office. I'm a stickler for it personally. And I would love to see, I haven't seen what you've referred to. As you all know, I'm new, well, just a few, maybe 4 months now. So if there are rules, I haven't seen them yet. I'd love to see them, and I could maybe dovetail a couple different things together.
Chair, if I may too, I have a quick question too. Mr. Martin, a couple things that I had a question on. I was like, you had mentioned in your report about revise our website. I've been interested in redoing, but I didn't know if there's, further information to come of, what is your opinion of this Revive company? You said you had experience with them and.
I do. However, we're coming up against the deadline. Our current contract with what's it called? Town Web, sorry, thank you, expires October 1st. I don't think that we're going to be able to make a decision or a change before that time. So my on-the-fly plan at this point in time is to renew the contract with Town Web for a year.
Okay.
And then explore, revise Town Web, what they have new to offer, and any other web hosting services that might be out there.
Got it.
So it's down the line by a few months.
Got it, thank you. Second one was the recycling center. I think there was discussed before too about the sign, updating our sign, so we probably need to get an updated sign at some point or another.
Yes.
I don't know if that's in the works or.
Yes, it is in the works. Ron is
Okay,
working on
gotcha,
that.
too. And-
DPW Director Ron Tabor is working on that.
Perfect. And then the RFP revised, too. Yeah, my apologies. I meant to get on that in the last week or two. It fell out, I think, of everybody's radar. But
I'm sorry, what was it?
The RFP, the request for
Oh,
proposal.
okay.
So I will be reviewing that the next, I would say, well, so we don't have a couple weeks, we have a week.
We
to do
do,
that,
but we
so-
could also push it back a couple more weeks
Yeah.
beyond that if there's enough
Yep.
interest and change.
Got it, yeah. I'd like to have, obviously, as it is presented as a draft to the board to consider, not so much to, whatever, just so that everybody can see it, but, all right, that was basically it.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Back to you, Chair.
Anybody else?
I was gonna let him complete his report, and then I'll make some more comments if you unless.
I didn't, I'm sorry,
Are
Matt.
you done with your report?
I am.
Oh, okay, then I will make a comment. I didn't wanna make sure we didn't cut you off early.
That's why I chimed in.
Bart, I agree with you, and Mr. Martin, I agree with you. We gotta get this done, because this is the driver for our charging of services to residents, for things. We know that this came up because we've got costs coming in for water taps that are exceeding the cost of what we're charging the resident for those water taps, and we need to get that pricing updated. It hasn't been updated since probably 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And, we need to ensure that we're charging the residents the appropriate amount of money for the service that the township is paying to get the work done.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
You're welcome.
Sure, I did one more thing too. You had put in your report that, because we don't have a place for our DPW director to talk about, so was it going to be a spot where, was he going to talk about the Willis Road sewer thing?
We would love to have him do that.
Yeah, so.
If you have
yeah,
questions,
there's
he would
not
be
a
the one to
spot-
answer rather than me.
There's not a spot on here, so
I know that.
maybe he could jump in.
But he is here, so.
Got it. So we could make this part of the
Sure.
Township Manager's report of, Ron, if you'd like to address. If you'd like to get up and publicly speak. Yeah.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bowman, Board, Township residents. You guys got any questions about the sewer project we got going there? We
Got 50 questions. but-
Let's hear 'em.
Just give us an overview if you could. I mean, I haven't been down in the sewer, but I was there and I was basically told I could not go down there. I was like, yeah, I'll jump in down there.
Right.
But I saw a contractor get down there, been out there with Johnny and everybody just kind of getting an overview. But just for the residents to get an understanding of what it is, what's going on, the failure. We talked about the lining.
Yeah,
Did we check into that type of stuff? Why is the lining that was just done the last 2-3 years ago, why is that failing?
Right.
Just kind of an overview.
Basically, we started out, we had a sewer failure down there. We had a sewer backup. That was on the 21st of August. And so we got a hold of Ryan from Diversified. I called several contractors. He was the first one to respond and said he could get right over there and do it. So we routed the blockage, and as we're pulling the blockage back, we found tons of sand. So we know we're getting infiltration somewhere in our seals in our dog houses where the sewer main, the pipe come into the dog house where we can access the pipe. So what we did was we pulled the sand. We knew we had something. We were wondering where it's coming from, so we needed to we had a truck come out and vector it, and then we were going to camera it. Well, the next morning, the ground caved in right out there. The ground gave way. So that gave us an idea where our holes were. And so we looked in there and we seen the seals that where the pipe meets the doghouse. There's a rubber seal in there. And the hydrogen gases ate away at the metal components, and it failed, and it just started dumping in on the top side of the pipe. You're getting all the sand and groundwater infiltration, which is going in our sewer system, blocking it. But it also all that water, we're being charged to process that water at Yucca. So, it's important that we get it resolved. So we have restored the integrity of the pipe. Ryan went in there and blocked it up with some epoxy, and then he mortared those collars back up, and we went in almost, I think there was eight total manholes. We went in and reestablished the integrity of it so there's no leaking coming in. We attempted to de-water one area that was the big sinkhole, because we were making sure it wasn't undermined at all and it could fracture the pipe, or belly it. So we cambered it, there was no bellying. Well, we tried to de-water it and dig it, and we got 15 feet down, and the water table was just drowning us. It was getting dangerous. We needed bigger equipment, and it was going to cost the taxpayers a lot of money. So we made a couple phone calls with other contractors and decided that it would be the integrity of the pipes there, because it was coming in on the top, and that your type of water, that river sand, kind of fills the void. It just fills anyways, and it's going to rebed the pipe if it had any voids. So what we did was we sealed up the insides of those. Now we're looking into lining and lining the pipes inside the structures. There's 10 structures we're looking into lining. We got a bid today on it, and it's going to reinforce like a half-inch thick of a plastic in there. It's going to build up the integrity of the concrete well, and then it's also going to seal it for water, infiltration, and then what else is it? It's I don't know, but it's like, I think it's gonna. Our price was close to $50,000. It's like $5,000 a manhole, but that main thoroughfare of the sewage is the main sewer going out of the township. When it goes, we're in trouble, and it's 24 feet down. So when we have to dig that up, we tried, and it's not easy to dig up. It would cost a lot of money. So we think if we line it, seal the insides, we'll line them, and then we're going to camera the line one more time, look for any more spots, because we heard water. And Mr. Ryan Moon went down in there and looked down the pipe with a flashlight, and he see more water coming in. So we don't know if it's an old sewer drop, which is a tap, coming in that's maybe draining from a field, or if it's just a hole in the fiberglass. But we're gonna run the camera through there and take a peek and see if it's the integrity of the fiberglass lining, or is it a drop that was cut in that maybe we need to just plug it, go in there and plug it.
That's what, that's what I was asking. It was Supervisor Bowman and myself were out there, and
Yeah.
we saw him down 20, 30 feet. We were looking down there,
Yeah.
because I can hear it down there.
Yeah.
So we didn't know what we thought, that there was gonna be a camera out there like that next day,
Right.
and it was just done in the last couple of years, so.
Right.
Is it warranted? If it is a failure, who was it that did it, and is
Yeah,
that warrantyable?
I looked that stuff up from Hennessy. I got the letters from Hennessy, but I'm trying to look out the contract and see if I can get with a mod and see if there's any kind of warranty on it. They can maybe come up and resock that. If it's a failure in the pipe, we'll have them resock it. Or if it's something that we can, if it's a cork coming in, maybe we can dig it and somehow cork it. I don't know if we can cork it from the inside, or we'll have to see.
Cool.
But the hydrogen gases, I think we might have solved that. We're getting a lot of hydrogen gas that's eating away the concrete wells. We're getting into the rebar and stuff like that. And it's eating away the welds on the rubber seals. That's where we're getting the problems. But I've talked to a lady from a chemical joint, or chemical, United Labs chemical place, that they got bio blocks that we can put in there and pretty much reduce the H2S gases, to neutralize them. But I think it's because we're dropping in the sanitary from so high up that we're creating the viscosity that's creating the gases.
Mixing the gas up.
So if we put a tube on there and, with a T and bring it down and drop it in a little softer, I think we would alleviate the hydrogen gases to an allowable level, hopefully. But we're still in the process. Like I said, we got the price on that. I think Ryan might have scheduled them for the lining. We're trying to get that done, but I believe next week possibly he's supposed to come out. But it's something I recommend, because getting down there to dig and fix these seals from the outside of the barrels, it's almost impossible with the water table we have. So I'm thinking if we can build up that inside of that barrel and seal it, I think we'll get a longevity out of that, 30 years or what. I don't know if we'd have to address it again. Not for a long time, 30 years maybe.
Well, Mr. Tabor and Mr. Crushing, we appreciate all the hard work.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
John, I know you guys kept stopping by. I know it was a scary project. It has to go out, and if it don't go out,
Do you have that
trouble.
sample, Ron, with you, that?
Yeah, the sample's right there.
Okay,
I can-
okay.
Pass it down, that's it.
That's the liner. It's a piece of the liner they're going to be spraying inside the well. It's that thick. They're going to clean it really good, steam clean it, and then they're going to dry it, and then they're going to apply the first plastic epoxy on it, then the foam, and then they'll do the plastic coating on the outside. And you can't even break that stuff. There's maybe a 2 by 3 inch piece they're passing around, and you can't even bend it. It's really strong. I think the integrity of the well will be there if we spray the product.
Mr. Tabor? So, based on what I'm hearing, this failure was in the area that we paid to get relined a few years ago.
Yes. Yep.
So,
In the line, Matt, that's the failure they're talking about, is in the line, not the actual failure around the barrels.
I understand, but I think when we did our thing, they had run through and relined the pipes themselves. And
Yeah, that's the failure we're talking about,
Yeah.
right, Ron? Not the,
What it is, the pipe, we run the sock through there, the fiberglass sock through there when they line it, and it's going through and it goes into the doghouse, into the trough. And when it goes through there, where the doghouse, the barrel where the man can go down in them, where it goes into the doghouse, there's a rubber seal in there, and they use it's a stainless steel band, and they'll use a ratchet and they'll tighten it up, and it expands against the pipe and on the structure of the well. The problem is, where the welds are, it creates the H2S attacks those welds, and when those welds break, the springs release and that flap comes down. So our fiberglass lining's still there, but above the fiberglass lining, on top of the concrete pipe, the existing shell of the concrete, we line the inside. It's flipped in, and it's all that surface water's coming in the top, and you're getting the sand.
yeah, so I understand in the doghouse, but is there any runs in between those doghouses that have collapsed? And that was part of what we had relined, is where I was kind of focusing.
No, what they do is they run it in there, which I don't understand. In some areas, it looked like they ran it through, like the sock, right through the doghouse, and then they cut the top out of it, which now you got a fiberglass trough in there, which is the way I think it should be. We had a couple that it looked like they came and they cut it off right at the pipe, and the trough there was concrete, and it kind of settled, So I'll address that with the company that did it and see if there's a way
So what I'm hearing is the dog houses are really where is the problem. It's not the runs of line going between
Nope,
the
the
dog
lines are,
houses.
we cameraed the lines, we didn't see many.
They look pretty good.
Yeah, we didn't see bellies or nothing. Usually you can run through there with a camera, you'll see the water get deeper and you'll know that you're getting a belly in the line or sinking. And the lines seem to run pretty straight, which is good, and,
Well, the reason I asked that question is
Yep.
because when we had those put in, there was a section or sections of that relining that failed, and they collapsed
Really?
in, and they had to go in and repair them, and that's why I was wondering if if any of the issues were in the lines between the dog houses and not the dog houses.
That's
Yeah,
when they got their camera stuck and it took about 2 weeks to get it out.
Yeah, they had water coming in and it collapsed the interior sock and had some issues there, so.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, like I said, I've been here, 7 months. I'll dig into the files and dig into that, and see if I can find out where those problems were and see if that's the areas that we're having issues at.
Okay.
You know, it could be a similar
All right.
problem
Perfect.
that
Thank
can
you.
resolve.
Thank you, Chair.
Any other questions?
Okay.
I'm open to it if the board is. That's,
The
I'm
chair.
fine.
But
We're not open.
I mean, I'm fine if they want. she
I'll
wants
make a
to ask.
motion to approve the township manager's report.
Support?
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Attorney's report, Young?
So the reason this other information is requested or was asked to be added to the agenda regarding the Senior Alliance amendment that came in, as I think was indicated earlier, it came in after the deadline for the agenda, and it's time sensitive. And it's just an amendment to the prior agreement, which was from 223 to 225. And there's just a slight amendment and adjustment to the language as it relates to reporting. I spoke with Mary Ann, and she's fully aware of it. And we just want to make sure that we comply with all those requirements. So whatever funding is available and which comes to us, is we continue to get that, and also we're in compliance, so we don't have to pay it back if there's any kind of a breach of an agreement. So with your approval, later on, not now, but with your approval, that's all that this contract is referring to. Also, there's been a couple that have asked me about what the situation is with the Republic. We continue to look at the relationship as it relates to the agreement that we have with them, the fast track agreement. But you know, Mr. Pentock's firm has provided some assistance, given their experience with landfills and all the language and everything that goes along with it. I've had some discussions with the attorneys from Republic. We seem to have a decent relationship working through it, but we're getting to the point where we're gonna have to decide what we're gonna do one way or another. The board has given me the leeway to make that decision. So I think, without getting into discussing all the litigation that might come from this, probably within the next 30 days, we have some sort of understanding as to where we're going and how we're gonna do this, so we'll proceed with the next step. Finally, after listening to Mr. Tabor's report, I think it's also important to let the board know that he, Mr. Crushland, others in the Water and Sewer Department have been very active in looking for and uncovering those that have been less than honest as it relates to using water in the township. So if you are one of those individuals that has not connected fully as you should, or somehow you're bypassing the meter, or whatever the case may be, eventually it's gonna come to fruition and notice. So if you have something you wanna discuss with us, the door is open, and we're willing to sit down and make those resolutions to those problems. It's not something we wanna do. We don't have the citizens that pay the bill of those that won't pay the bill. I mean, all of that has to get taken care of. So I compliment him and his office and those that are working in there. I mean, it's a difficult and dirty job to go underneath and look for all kind of different things, but they're more than willing to do it and certainly capable. And I'm very, very pleased to be part of that effort. So with that, Mr. Supervisor, I'm finished.
Motion to accept the attorney's report?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Police and ordinance report, Chief.
Good evening. August numbers for the PD, 1,485 total calls for service, 37 arrests, 142 citations. Our top crash location continues to be Rawsonville and Willis at the intersection. Part 1 violent crimes, we had 6 felonious assaults. Part 1 nonviolent crimes, we had 1 arson, 1 burglary, 5 larcenies, and 1 vehicle theft. And of course, everything is broken down to its individual runs on the second and third page that I supply the board every month.
Chief, can I ask
The
you-
arsonist was a juvenile. That
Can I
was-
ask you a question, Chief?
Yes, sir.
The majority of these violent crimes and larceny and all that, does that take place in the parks?
Well, historically, we have very low crime rates, especially violent crimes. As you'll recall, when I give these reports, many, many times, it's zero across the board. The mobile home communities keep us busy.
Yep.
They do keep it, they take up a lot of our resources, compared to the overall township. So yes, I mean, obviously, they keep us busy, and a lot of our runs are in the mobile home communities.
Is it about a percentage? I remember this number being discussed before, but I can't remember the percentage wise, like,
I can get that for you for next. I wouldn't want to throw something out there, just a
Okay.
guesstimate right now.
we talked about it before, I just couldn't remember.
But when you look at the total population of the mobile home parks compared to our total township population, you know, I've said this in years past to a lot of people, and I don't have any way to review this, but I know that I'm probably right. Mobile home community residents compared to our overall population, we have to be number one in the state, I would say. I'd feel confident saying that.
You're talking about per capita?
Per capita for our, yes. Percentage of mobile home community residents compared to our overall population in the township. We have to be at the top or very near the top. I can't imagine anywhere else that has as many as we do. And that's a problem, because obviously when it comes to resources, you need funds in the back end in terms of taxes to run a police department, to run the fire department. And unfortunately, the tax base from the mobile home communities is not the same as a stick-built home.
Yeah.
And until something is done at the legislature, at the state level, to try to remedy that at least a little bit, we're gonna be behind the eight ball.
Chief, correct me if I'm wrong, back in the day, didn't, like, the park, didn't they have like somewhat of their own security to keep the minimal
Just
stuff?
Holiday West, Cambio did a little thing for maybe a year with a private security firm that came in there.
Yeah.
I don't think it saw much results in terms of police runs in there. But I mean, in 31 years I've been here, that's the only one I know that's done it.
Okay, so they're private entities, right? The parks?
Yes.
Okay, so I did some reading up, and I'm not a lawyer or anything or whatever, but, from what I've read, it basically boiled down to, we have to respond, we want to respond to, any kind of serious crime or, of that matter. But to patrol it all the time, it went on to say, that, it's a bunch of investors that own the trailer park, right? And we're in there, like you said, we're using a lot of resources to go in there just patrolling every day, in and out of the parks every day. It went on to say that it's not, if it's and you would know better than I would, if it's a private entity that the trailer park is, but it has is the road public in there, or is it private?
The road is considered private property. The motor vehicle code in Michigan does give us the ability to enforce just very few traffic laws in there. Speed is one of them. Careless driving, reckless driving, things like that can be enforced on private property. It's very limited.
But, okay, that's kind of what I was getting at. What I was reading on, it says when it gets to a certain point, when you're in there a lot for, say, writing speeding tickets, they should be paying us for that, for our time in there, because that is a privately owned, and it's a private road. It goes on to say that they should have a contract with Sumpter Township for, say, actually paying us for our resources that we're spending time in there for.
I wouldn't argue with, we need some resources from the mobile home communities. How that's done, I don't know.
No, what I was reading, and I'm no expert at the law or nothing, maybe Rob can enlighten us on it.
I mean, look, the argument is, and it's been adjudicated, they pay their taxes, and services are provided and generated from that. We've tried a lot of different ways to create opportunities to get more money from the manufactured housing community. We understand clearly where the problem is. There's a terrific lobby that represents them in Lansing, It's been, since I started out here, it's been like trying to fight City Hall, no pun intended, but that's what it is with them. Even the monthly fees that your office takes per unit, I mean, those are set by not us. I mean, what is it, $3 a unit now, or
I can't remember.
whatever it
It's
is,
very
but
small,
very
very
small
low.
amount, and,
$2 a unit.
yeah, whatever it is, and there's just no ability to.
Less than a dog license, so.
Yeah, there's just no ability to tack on any fees at this point. They're private, so are the businesses, so are the apartments, so are the houses. I mean, there's very few public properties in this township, as there are in a lot of communities. Most of it is private, and the courts require us that what we do for one residential operation, we have to do for all. So if we were gonna start charging the manufactured housing community for some sort of per diem runs, or whatever the case may be, we'd have to do it for all of the residents in the township. And of course, the pushback would be is, well, what do we pay our taxes for?
Well, what I was reading up on was on like traffic, the police officers going in
Well,
and,
we do traffic, but obviously responding to criminal complaints and other complaints, we do that no matter where you live in the township. It's inside the township. We're gonna respond to those. We do some traffic details on occasion in there. Mostly it's just done officers patrolling like they normally would. I will say this, you know, right now, especially Cambio and management in Rawsonville Woods, they do work pretty good with us. They're cooperative. They try to take steps that we recommend to try to solve problems. You know, they will evict people that need to be evicted, and that's a decision that they make. We don't make that decision. So, you know, especially Cambio with Holiday West and Holiday Woods, things they've done since they came in, when we sat down and talked with them several times. I mean, they're very receptive. They've done a few things with some technology at the entrance and exits to their park that have really calmed criminal activity in the park that was coming in, like the shootings and the stabbings, people coming in from outside our community, committing the crime here and then leaving. So that's really helped. So, you know, I'm not gonna sit here, obviously, and no reason to badmouth management in the three main parks. But we've talked internally for years now on something that we can do to try to get more money to pay for the resources they're using. And it's an ongoing conversation we're having.
It's gonna take a law change is what it's gonna take.
Chair, I mean, I want to make sure it's clear, what we're talking about is PD. This also rolls over to our fire. And
Yeah.
Don, I know you did a review and analysis on this, and I think it came back that 20% of the population of the township is in the trailer parks, but they only contribute like 4% to the cost of the services.
It was some alarming numbers. I can't repeat what they are because that was quite some time ago, but.
Yeah.
And those should
yeah,
actually be
we
amended, I
could-
believe now, if I'm not mistaken, that with the mobile home parks, Holiday West and Woods being almost full, that our mobile home population is about a third of our overall population, low 30%.
wow.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers I was generating were well before we were at
Right.
those numbers that we see today. This was numbers were well within under 20%. So I probably wouldn't want to even see the math at this point.
And yes, the fire department will
And there's
attest to
no
the fact that we're
recourse
in their
against
lot.
that, huh? They're,
Since they're regulated by the state, they give how the state regulates the trailer parks. I'd love to be able to tax them per unit.
We were getting money for inspections when they were converting back a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's just, what, every 3 year, it's whatever it is, the annual, semi-annual inspections, whatever it is. There needs to be a change in the law. I mean, it's just, I know that's simple, but there's just no ability to, because whatever we do is a tax. We have to have the ability to tax, and we don't have that ability.
And I do believe we updated our ordinances where we now can inspect for resale, or not only resale, but on rental. If they're renting units in there, they now are subject to being inspected and the township charging them a rental inspection, which they previously had not been under. So we're trying to get as best we can. That's not a money generator, right? But at least we're in there and trying to improve the residences that are there.
To be very clear, any monies that we charge on the building side for inspections, that money stays in the building department.
Yep.
Right.
That money cannot go to the general fund
Yeah,
or any
it's
other
not-
project.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's an enterprise fund that basically is run to break even and cover its costs.
Okay.
Motion to approve Chief Luke's report?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Motion to file building report.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Fire report, Chief Brown.
Good evening, Board. I have the numbers for the month of August for the fire department, which totals 129 calls received, 9 of which was fires, 98 of them was medical and rescue services, 3 hazardous conditions with no fires, 3 service calls, 15 good intent, and 1 false alarm, which brings us back to the total of 129 calls for the month of August, which completes the numbers for that month. One other note that I would like to make is inviting the board or any of the community to the floors at the station, the bay floors and the gear room floors has been finished, stripped down, coated, flaked, really look nice, impressive. Should last a whole lot of time. We're making big improvements around there and it's looking nice, so anytime anybody's getting any time, stop by and see us. And October 11th, Saturday, October 11th at 1 o'clock is our open house. So if you don't get a chance by then, you can stop by and see us then.
Thank you,
Sounds good, Chief, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the fire chief report.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Board response.
I've got a couple things, if I may. I'd like to ask the township manager to look into creating a hiring policy / procedure to develop this and present it to the board for approval over the next 2 weeks to month. So we don't have to go through, and this should apply to all union employees. So we don't have to go through what we went through hiring an office assistant. There should be clear-cut guidelines how we move forward, how people are interviewed, how people are not interviewed. However, we're gonna establish this as a policy or procedure. I'd like to be clear as a bell on it moving forward, please. The second thing I'd like to ask the township manager to do is I would like to see during a routine audit, I'd like the BSNA software to be updated for all contract employees, vacation time, and PTO time banks. So the next time I go in to look at them, I can see what the numbers are, what has been used, what has not been used. Please.
Sure, if I may too. Quick report, if we could add to that, rather than just all union employees, I would say like all, like even contract. It would be good to have, like, maybe even police, fire, whatever the case may be.
That's for him to present to the board for us to approve or not to
I
approve.
just want to be limited just to union, so that we've got, thank you.
Okay.
That's all I have. Oh, no, it's during announcements. I got some other stuff here. I don't want to get too carried away and waste them all at one stop.
All right, so then we'll move on to new business. Consider approval of MAMC ADA infrastructure grant.
So moved. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. B, consider approval to post, accept applications, and interview candidates for the vacant full-time ordinance officer position.
So moved.
All in favor?
Well,
I'd like to have a discussion on that.
Yeah.
Okay, you wanna go first, or?
If I could, because we just had this discussion before too as well. Number one, my first question is, and it should be for any time we're doing this, is like, we're talking about hiring another position. Who's gonna be on the interview committee? Who's gonna be doing the interviews? Will it be posted open meetings? How will that process be done? We should discuss that right now for having this on the agenda. Second one is this position, will they be working on Saturdays? Because
And Sundays.
Well,
The
it's
last
hard-
time the board voted, but the last time we voted to hire Kevin Scott, I believe it was, If you go back in the minutes, the board agreed to hire a second ordinance officer so that there would be an officer on the street 7 days a week. Okay, and that never materialized for whatever reason. We'd had to pay him double time or whatever it was. The union, we had to make changes with the union chief, or why didn't that
In
ever
order
happen?
to do that, you will need a letter of understanding from AFSCME. I don't see an issue with that. I think it should be a quick process to sit down and come up with that, but it will take a letter of understanding to do that.
Well, I think that needs to be done because I don't think Saturday, Saturday would help, but I can't count on my hands and my toes the times that I've had to approach somebody doing something on a Saturday or a Sunday without a permit.
That's prime time, yeah.
And, the last, most recent was last week. I was going down Willis Road to Martinsville Road, going to see a friend. I noticed the roof was being torn off on a home, okay? So I never seen you're required to post your permit in the front window so it's visible from the street. So I turned around, I come back, I said, and I was being nice about it. I came up, showed them my badge, ID, told them who I was, and asked them if they had a permit to do it because they were doing a complete re-roof on the house. They had the shingles tore off down to bare wood. And I asked them, I said, well, do you have a permit to do this re-roof? And a gentleman stepped forward and says, oh, it's the weekend. We don't need a permit on weekends.
It's in the small print somewhere.
I said, and I had to hold my tongue, to laugh. I was wanting to laugh about it. It was a serious thing, but I informed them that they did have to have it. So I took the address and the homeowner's name and everything, and I came Monday morning and gave the information to Abby in the building department, and they ended up coming to the department and paying double for the price of the permit.
Well, I know that, the second position's been vacant since I believe it was early February, when Kevin Scott left, held off on recommendation to fill it, waiting for Carl Wortman to come in, see how their expertise took some pressure off the ordinance officers who are lay people when it comes to building things. That's helped, so now I think is the time to fill it. I will say this, though, that at this point, we do not have a vehicle for that second ordinance position. If you recall, we sold the other two at auction, which they needed to go. One of the old patrol units was transferred for Peter to use. So it normally takes 2 months for somebody who's green to come on and be trained, at least 2 months before they can go obviously out on their own on the weekends where there's nobody to call to answer questions from here at the township hall. But we do not have a vehicle for that person. So we need to I do not have any vehicles at the police department. That's, they're all over the township. I don't have any, I won't have any. I have to replace one of the DB vehicles in about a month when our new vehicle is put in service and an old one comes off. So it will take going out and buying a new vehicle for that position.
Yeah, we're kind of vehicle poor right now.
We are, as you probably remember, for those of you who read my budget write-up at the beginning of the year, I would recommend going to something smaller. We don't need trucks. I don't think we need an Explorer. Even though Ford is they say they're going to stop making them, an Escape will do, all-wheel drive Escape, or something, maybe more of those Maverick trucks.
Or a flashy moped or something like that.
Flashy, well,
Yeah.
yes,
I think
with a
we-
nice helmet with some streamers off the back, and so they're coming. But I know that Township Manager and I, and whoever else he invites, is going to be a part of a meeting with Enterprise, which just isn't just rental cars. They also do fleet management, and they're going to give their proposal, and they say they can save municipalities a lot of money by going through them for new vehicles. So that's on the horizon, and we'll see where that goes. But a new vehicle going forward through our state bid price is going to be about $32,000.
Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Somebody interrupted me. So I had to have that questions too about the vehicles too, because I think wasn't the one vehicle, didn't we use like the DPW's director's vehicle for the other or vice versa? Or something
We
like
always,
that?
when a vehicle is taken off the road for emergency use, we then transfer to use elsewhere.
Someplace else, right?
We have two detectives that have vehicles, I'm sorry. We have two ordnance, if we fill the second one. We have a vehicle that's older. One of the oldest ones is the DPW. Chief Brown's vehicle is a former police vehicle. But, you know, some years I only replace one. And there's too many hands, too many people need vehicles here. So we need to figure out a way, township-wide, I think, to deal with that. Maybe enterprise is the solution.
Additionally, too, on this, because to get back to the whole thing with the interview committee, like, well, they back up just a bit too with the Saturday and Sunday. I was told that we can't do one on Sunday because of the double time or whatever it would be on a Sunday. But if there was this letter, I'd be interested in seeing whatever this letter of agreement.
Oh, that
we
would
could
be in
have.
place before the person is actually hired. I'd want to get that done immediately.
I mean, I would think, at least in my opinion, we should have like Chief Luke, our HR director, township manager, be on the interview committee, and maybe we could create some sort of, like we've discussed before, a ranking of some sort to where they can do the interviews, we post, they do the interviews, they hand all the candidates to us scored like we did the township manager, and it should be evident who, that based upon the recommendation, who then we can choose from the list. But however we want to do that, we should appoint, I believe, an interview committee and figure out how we're going to do that, how the board's going to receive these candidates when they come in.
Chair? Isn't it all kind of a moot point, seeing as we don't have a vehicle? Shouldn't we just wait until we have the prospect of a vehicle before, you know, because, I mean, we're gonna get all these interviews in, all the paperwork, and it's a moot point.
How long would it take to check on the, sorry to interrupt, like how long would it take to check on the enterprise thing? Because we might be able to have something on the next agenda.
I know we submitted all of our vehicle lists with the VINs and the years to Enterprise, I think, last week, and we're just waiting for an appointment date. They claim that it's a kind of a lease to kind of, not lease to buy, but it's one of those programs where you spread out the payments and it looked good on paper. There's got to be something there that's kind of like, oh, I didn't see that, but I mean, we're going to sit down with them and I assume probably a member of the board and see where it goes.
Chair? I know, you know, when we didn't replace this, you know, there was discussion that, you know, we maybe not need a second officer, and that's why we didn't move forward and do anything. Has something changed that we have determined now that we need a second officer on the road?
Well, as I said, I always thought we needed two officers. It was just to see how much Carlisle Wortman, how much they could take up. Because you had lay people, and the way we used to do it, they would have to try to sometimes figure out building issues on the fly. And Google is not the place to do that. You have to have somebody who's an expert, and obviously Carlisle Wortman, they've been great in there, and they're a great resource. So just trying to figure out how much, whether it would be a part-time request or a full-time request.
So, and to follow up on it, does Carlisle Wortman offer, you know, ordinance piece? You know, they have an office person, they've got the building inspectors. Do they offer an ordinance section where you would, you know, hire the ordinance person through them and work, you know, with them? As they're the,
I don't know if I'd want to do that.
I'm not quite sure how that would work with our ordinance underneath a collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't think there's any use for a second one unless they're working on the weekends. That's, the township is losing money every week. I guarantee you, I'm just out casually driving around and I've turned so many people in that I've lost count of them. Because and other companies know that. Roofing companies know that. Companies working on these homes, we must have a reputation of, if you go to Sumpter Township on a Saturday or a Sunday, you're gonna get away with it, you know?
I would say one way to remedy that is to quadruple our fines. If we're able to increase our fines for something like that and.
Well, we're doubling them now, you know?
Double them and put the word out that it's not worth it to do that.
But still, chief, these roofing companies don't mess around. You know, you're talking, you pull up to a house at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're rolling up at 1 o'clock. That 30-square house has been torn off, replaced, cleaned up, and they're gone.
Chair, my third question was, is there an option for us to, if we have a second ordinance officer, that both ordinance officers would swap off on the weekends, you know, have a swing shift?
We tried that before,
No,
Matt,
I
and
don't
it didn't
think,
work.
I don't think that would ever get past. the
Well, we gotta
union.
get the union to approve it, but I'm
So-
saying if you've got two ordinance officers, you know, if one can't work the weekend or, you know, swap off, you know, shifts, you know, to make it a little bit easier, you know? But as long as you got coverage on the weekend.
I think you gotta, whoever the new guys or gal's gonna be is, that's, we have
That's gonna
to-
be their shift, the
Yeah,
weekend.
we have to-
It's gonna include the weekends.
Otherwise, getting the union to go along with that to change the current ordinance officers' days and time would be hard to do, I think. I mean, we can have the discussion, but,
So it'd be a Wednesday through Sunday shift
Yeah.
for,
Well, I always go back to what you say, you know, it's management's discretion on when the office hours or when
well, but
employees work.
subject to a collective bargaining agreement. And the
Yeah.
collective bargaining agreement right now says nobody can be compelled to work on Sunday,
If I may.
you know, so that's, we gotta work around that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don?
All right, since we're still under discussion for this motion, I think we're putting the cart in front of the horse here. Honestly, I mean, I think, first, we gotta get a hiring policy/procedure in place that we can follow, we all agree. Right? Two, we need a letter of understanding from the union for a 7-day RDO schedule. Right? We're assuming that we're gonna get that. We don't know. Third, we need a vehicle for the said person to drive.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of roadblocks in front of us already, and we're talking about putting bids out to people. I think we're inherently going way too quick on this and in the wrong order.
that's why I want you to know about the vehicle. That's a big sticking point.
I'm not opposed to it. I'll be forward about that, but I believe we have to do it correctly.
Well, we already have a motion and a support, so if somebody wants to withdraw their motion, then we
I'll
can.
withdraw my motion.
I'll make a motion to remove this from the agenda then.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried.
Before I step away, do you want me to come back next meeting with a proposal for a vehicle?
Yes.
I only said remove just
No,
because if we table it, then we're talking about like in the next week or so here, do we get a vehicle, do we get this, do we get that, so.
No, with the way that ordering vehicles goes now, it's different than it's ever been before. Do you want me to come back next meeting with a proposal for a vehicle?
Sure.
While we
That
work
would
through
be
the rest of
nice.
the stuff?
Yes, and Chair, I think we need to direct him to also approach the union for the 7-day
Yeah,
RDO, so
yeah,
that.
yeah.
that's-
I've had a
that's
discussion with the union rep, and I don't see that as being an issue at all. Rob will have to do a little bit of wording and.
That's simple to do.
Yeah.
I mean, because it'd be limited to that one circumstance. so it wouldn't
I
be-
don't see any issues there at all.
Cool.
No.
Okay, so
But
next
I'd
meeting,
like-
the vehicle.
I'd like to see clear language on that schedule. Nothing ambiguous. It definitely has to cover the weekend.
So, quick question then too, on the position description that we have too, is there any need for two position descriptions, or does that just come down to management for weekend and like who's on which? Because when I was looking through that, I didn't see anything about weekend requirements or typical 9 to 5, you know, whatever it is, or 8:30, 4:30, Monday through Friday. Is there any need for a different position description for somebody that's covering the weekend?
Potty script is just a general overview of the
Okay.
position. I
Just a
wouldn't say it has
question.
anything to do with today's. I think
We would just modify, have a letter of understanding that says, notwithstanding what the contract says, here's the change, and a couple of, how many have we done of these in the last 5 years?
Got it.
10 of them, you know, so,
Okay.
limited to that position only.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chief. Okay.
See.
Okay, so we'll move on to C. Consider approval for Clerk Laporte and Deputy Clerk Herman to attend MTA Professional Development Training on September 29th, 30th, 2025, not to exceed $1,500.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Okay, and somebody have verbiage for E? Senior
D.
Alliance?
D.
Oh, D, I'm sorry.
D is consider the approval to accept an interview committee's recommendation to hire Gabrielle Massel as a full-time clerk's office assistant / floater position at the rate of $27.77 per the collective bargaining agreement beginning September 10th, 2025.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Discussion. I just wanted to, we need to have the discussion, I'm sorry. First off, can we get a copy of this agenda item? So we can have, I don't even have a copy of the agenda
It's
item.
sitting right in front of you. Signed it.
Where?
I think Bowman took it.
Okay,
There's another one.
thank you. All right, check off number one.
Well,
All
then
right.
I wouldn't have had one. I don't have two.
Well, I didn't take yours.
Sorry, this is mine, you can't have it.
Be
Second
that-
one is,
be that way.
just asking some questions, because I didn't fully get everything that was said before too, so maybe this is something that Julie can ask. Number one, like, how many respondents do we have, in this overall? How many resumes did we get? How many interviews were done? And then what was it? What were some of the things that were with this candidate, with Gabriella, that were elevated her to the
Yeah,
top?
what separated them
Yeah.
from,
Yes, if you could, yeah.
I already got one.
Just so the board's fully informed on everything and where we're at.
We received 15 responses to the posting.
All right.
Of those 15, 3 candidates had the appropriate experience and background.
Okay.
We scheduled interviews for those 3, and before we held the interviews, one of them canceled, so we interviewed the remaining 2.
Got it.
They both were very qualified on paper. One in particular answered the interview questions fully, thoughtfully, creatively, and the other was more like yes or no answers. So as a interview committee, there were 4 of us, and we caucused and unanimously all agreed that there was one outstanding candidate for the position.
Cool.
And we went in with open hearts, open minds. The resumes looked really good. That decision was made after the interviews, fully after the interviews.
And Gabriella, so it's been here for how long now? Working part-time? Been a year, something like that?
18 months.
Yeah, cool, okay, that was it, just had some questions, just want to make sure that we're fully aware of like how many people and how the process went, thank you. We got a motion support.
We have a motion and support. Want to do roll call or, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried.
And she's not here to congratulate her.
It's all right, we'll catch her tomorrow.
We'll catch her tomorrow. She'll be here.
Okay, is there anything else we added to the agenda?
Senior Alliance.
Yes, item
Senior
E.
Alliance.
Senior Alliance, okay.
What's the language on that?
The,
got
Chair,
me.
if you'd like me to read it,
Pardon me?
would you like me to read the language?
Yes.
Okay. Consider approval to amend the Senior Alliance Area Agency on Aging 1C, fiscal years 2023 to 2025, contract services for the aging.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion, just had some questions. Again, I'm sorry, it's the guy with 1,000 questions. So I wasn't sure on this too, when did we receive this? Because I know this like all of a sudden is time sensitive.
4th, as I recall.
Yep.
We just received it
September 4th.
in the last 5 days. Gotcha, okay.
If the
Are you
details,
No?
Treasurer Patterson, I know we didn't have much time to read before the meeting, but it's, the details are in the request from the township manager.
Yeah, I had 0 time to read it, that's why I'm asking. And I was paying attention to the board meeting too, so I didn't want to read this ahead. And what is so this is there like a previous agreement too as well? I'm sure
There is.
you reviewed it?
I
It's
did.
been reviewed, okay, got it. That was it, just wanted to double check on it. Sorry. Wouldn't you do my job if I didn't ask the questions, Chair?
You need not be sorry.
I'm joking, Bart. Okay, so we have motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Announcements.
Nope.
One last
Item
one.
F.
Oh, we got an F too?
Yep.
Chair, I would make a motion to table item F right now until we have a chance to review these quotes on the roof fully.
And that's what's wrong with this township, is everybody keeps kicking the ball down the road.
Sorry. Did you ask for?
Just a moment. Did we not put this out for RFP with stipulations of what we wanted? Did they not, did our township manager, did he not receive bids
No.
from different contractors? What do you know about a roof? Because I don't know nothing about a roof.
I know a lot about
I
it.
know a lot about roofs, but
But
Jim,
did you-
just ask me for the floor real quick.
Yeah.
Say chair?
Chair.
Okay, you got it. All right, now go ahead.
But my point is we keep kicking things down the road, it never gets done.
That's why this township's so far behind. We need to move forward. We have people in place to do this. We are not the contractors. We put out an RFP with stipulations of what it needed to be. We let the contractors make their bids. We have a township manager that opened these bids. They present them to us. This, no different than hiring someone, same thing. So I don't understand what the issue is with moving forward with the lowest bid that was received through BidNet.
Chair, if I may?
Pardon me?
Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Chair, if I may? If I
Go
may
ahead.
respond? I'll answer the question. So I believe that it's irresponsible to say that's why the township is a blanket statement is so far behind. That's an irresponsible statement. I don't agree with that in any way, shape, or form. So I'll answer the question as to why I believe that we should table it for further consideration. I do have a lot of expertise in flat roofs. I've been working on them for the better part of almost 2 to 3 decades now. So is our supervisor. So I think it's also not proper that the board would not even consider to have 2 people that are somewhat kind of experts on the roofing, at least look it over and make a recommendation. And the last spot, why wouldn't we go with the cheapest? I could give you a list of 10 or 15 reasons right now of why you don't want to go with just the cheapest roof price, or whatever the price is, be it a kitchen, be it a bathroom, whatever the case is. You need to do proper due diligence and comparisons. That's why. I don't think it's an emergency. If it was an emergency, why is it just being brought up now? Tabling it is only for 2 weeks. I would like to personally spend at least a couple hours on this myself, just to review. Maybe call up and ask them questions. I know when we did the roof for the township hall, how many people did we have come in, Chair? Was it about like maybe 8 estimates?
Yeah.
We had 8 estimates that ranged anywhere from like $25,000 to $110,000.
Yeah, they were
all
big
over
spread.
the board. When we finally called up, I probably spent, good night, maybe 3 hours on the phone, calling up people, asking the questions, what they were, asking like, you don't have some clarity on this? And then when it finally got down to, we called in, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 6 to do interviews on them. We interviewed 6 of them. And then we typed out a full explanation that was presented to the board. These are the materials, these are the warranties, this is the product, this is this, and it was presented to the board for consideration. There's a lot that goes into it. You don't just pick the lowest price. That's my only point.
Chair, I just want to go back. This was added to the agenda, per the request of the township manager, and I assume that request was vetted, through the bid process and through the employees of the township that we trust to make these things. That are decisions. That said, we have a motion to table it. The discussion by Robert's rules seconded that motion.
Mr. Frazier,
Well,
seconded
yeah.
by discussing the motion.
Yeah,
yes.
so we either need to take a vote to either table it or not table it, is what we need to do. And where I'm going back to the Robert's rules, the motion was made by discussion on the topic. It's an automatic second of the motion, because generally discussion is not allowed until a motion of a second. Any discussion is an automatic second of the motion. So we need to either vote to table it or vote to not table it.
We vote to table.
What he's saying is call the question on the motion to table. Once that's made and seconded, there's no discussion on the issue. So a little bit of discussion came out because that's the way it is, but the proper procedure would be to call the question on the motion to table.
Okay. Motion to table?
He's calling the question.
Do a roll call vote.
That's fine.
I made a motion table.
Dottie? Is that, are we,
Yeah, that's fine. We're voting on the motion.
Motion to table? No.
Frazier?
No.
Casson? Nope.
No. No.
No.
Chair, just to make sure that we understand that a no vote is to move forward with the selection of the bid.
Mm-hmm.
A motion would be appropriate to select one of the bidders, whatever the case
Yes,
may be.
yeah, so the motion was to approve this contract for them to move forward,
The 25,001.
the $25,000. The motion was not to table. So now we need to either make a motion to approve it. The motion to table it failed.
Make motion to approve the bid that was received.
Do I have support?
Support?
Roll call vote? Honey?
Yes.
Russ?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Dolman? Yes. Patterson?
No?
Fraser?
Yes.
Addie?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Okey-doke, so now we're on to announcements, huh?
Yeah.
Now you got something?
I have an
got some.
announcement.
You got a bunch of them.
Imagine that.
Looks
No,
like a bunch
first
of
of all,
them.
I'd like to announce that the River of Life Church, Thursday, September 11th, is providing lunch for all first responders, including police, firefighters, EMS, and medical personnel. So please stop down there from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hopefully you'll see Miss Ban, and she's doing well. I have not seen her in a while. You can stay and eat or take it to go. The second announcement is thanks to the Parks and Rec Committee for all that they've been doing lately, putting the work into things going down the road. Seeing more and more activity and people being involved and engaging in the community activities is always a plus. We like that. It's getting that time of the year. I want to remind everybody we're turning our heat on because it's starting to get a little chilly at night. Some of us are resisting. Me. But know that you need to have your smoke detectors. Get them checked, inspected, make sure they work. It's imperative, it can save your life. And if you do not have a smoke detector, please go to the website. There's a form on there you can fill out. The fire department will come out and install one for you. No charge to yourself. Just have to fill out the proper paperwork so we get everything accounted for. I appreciate all the people that came tonight and give their input. I hope you have a safe 2 weeks until we meet again.
Chair?
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, just to reiterate on Parks and Rec, we've got one heck of a final event coming up, October 24th. We're calling it the October Jam. It will be right across the street, underneath the pavilion. There'll be food trucks. Bring your cooler and have a great evening. The band, from what I understand, will do 2 sets. In between the sets, we'll have Parks and Rec personnel kind of talking about Parks and Rec. The idea was to have the concert and kind of like a meet and greet at the same time to promote getting volunteers for Parks and Rec, which has been proceeding pretty good. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you, Tim. Anything else?
Liz won't talk. We are also at Parks and Rec having our annual trunk or treat on October 25th. So the next day after the conference.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays?